So I guess this video is after Chantal saw the local live panel and she's trying to clear her name. Chantal, I have to tell you, this is the worst attempt I've ever seen. And what I found even more disgusting is you playing that was the lounge video with El Stabby and Didi in a DV situation trying to pass it as your own. And trying to put yourself in that situation, Chantal, that did not happen to you. That is not your story to be telling and trying to pass it on as your own. That is highly disgusting, dude. That is disgusting, and I don't like those two people, but what you did by inserting that video there is highly disgusting. You're using somebody else's drama in order to get people back on your side. That is gross. Hey, Chantal, don't you remember when you were in Cuba? When you're in Cuba pretending that to be drunk, you said you were happy that Nada did that to her. Don't you remember that? Now, since you needed to suit your narrative, you're going to try to pass it off as if something like that actually happened to you. You are nasty.
Hello. I have some things I want to talk about. About the YouTube Underground and Rage Potato FFG being on Lolcat Live. Just gonna put it out there. Keem, you really ran a circus, a clown show. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. You have no idea who these people are, so you're gonna learn today, okay? First,
And another thing I just want to add in is she is correct on this one. Everybody in this whatever panel situation, their hands are not clean either. They are not clean either, but from what I saw so far from Yaba and FFG, they were pretty straightforward about Chantal. Now she's going to try to spin it again, but she is correct. Everybody involved in this triangle, the ladies on the panel, know their hands are not clean either.
I just want to say, okay, my entire point, as usual, what I said, as usual, was completely misconstrued. I've said a million times that I was mad at myself about what happened. I shouldn't have allowed myself to go up there, and I shouldn't have allowed you to look at my pictures. You probably would have done it anyways. The fact that kid behind the camera is taking, a gleeful joy and is laughing at the fact that he tastelessly was the one who distributed my picture, even if it was on my OnlyFans in the past. That's my opinion. I don't think it's right to do to a woman. I don't think it's right. And a part of me feels like you guys don't give a shit about that. And that is...
See, Chantal, this is why you lose the argument for me. That picture is everywhere on Twitter. All of your pictures, dear Lord, all over Twitter. Your pictures all over QU Farms. And you yourself, ma'am, you body shame women all the time. Remember, you came online and described Didi's private parts. Remember that? So now when it comes to you, oh, no. We shall not do that. No, Chantal, it doesn't work like that. That's why it's called tit for tat. You do this to other people. The rules do not stop just because it comes to you.
Why I didn't think that I would be good for the show, okay? Nothing personal, whatever. Do you, all right? At this point in my life, I'm not the person I was that these people go up on panel and bring up. I'm not that person anymore.
Chantal, I hate to tell you this. Listen, when you're right, you're right. I'll give you that. When you're wrong, you're wrong. I'll call you out. You are the very same person. Have you, just because you hid or you deleted your live stream, honey, we all got them. You are the very same person as you were 3 years ago. Are you flashing us anymore on your live streams? Thank God. No, you're not. But through and through, we see it on your live streams on a daily. You are the very, very same person that you claim that you're not. Just because you put on a hijab, honey, it doesn't make you a different person. You actually have to put in the work and change who you are and your behaviors. You have not done that one bit. Okay? You have not done that one bit. So that's why I have an issue with your statement right there.
I still swear a lot and I still sin, whatever, but I've moved on from that part of my life. I'm 40 and it's just not a headspace. It's not entertaining for me really anymore. I thought that maybe it would be, considering my past and, you know, my status as a lol cow, whatever. I really don't feel like I am a lol cow anymore. I feel like I don't really do much. I'm kind of boring now, but whatever. I eat in a hijab. I travel, do things around Kuwait, whatever. So my point is, I'm not surprised at all that this is, I knew this was going to happen. This panel, this blah, blah, blah. All right. My haters are piranhas, and any opportunity, they're going to leech off of it. And that's kind of what you guys are doing. So anyways, and let me use this analogy. In the court of law, there's a judge, which would be you, Keem, because it's your show. There's a defendant, and there's the opposite side of that. There's the person doing the accusing, then there's a defendant, and you really just listen to one side and we're like, oh wow, that's insane, about everything they said, when it was pretty much all lies. Like, number one, I'm dying of laughter because I knew if FFG and Yaba, being the disgusting fat cowards they are, went on any panel, they're not going to cam up. Please do me a favor, please ask them to cam up the next time they come on.
And again, why did this whole cam up thing come about anyways? There are a lot of YouTubers who have successful careers who never camed up. I'll use this person as an example. Look at Mr. Medical, okay? That dude never comes up. What is it about if these people are so obsessed? Come up. I don't understand it. If people are vibing in your live streams and they're having a good old time, who cares? Who cares, honestly?
This is what FFG looks like. The fact that they say that they talk shit about my behavior is bullshit. There's nothing to talk about now. They have the nerve. I heard Yaba say that I bully her. I bully her. I bully you? Look at her channel. Do I have thousands of videos on these women?
Okay, my Canadian bacon. You see what I mean? Right here. You are correct. I think it's insane. I don't think it's okay to just always be picking on one person daily, on a daily, day in, day out. I agree with her on this. It's insanity. Like, yeah, I agree with her on this one. To me, yeah, you're right. You're right, my Canadian bacon. You're correct on this one. Point one for you on this.
These creatures? No, I don't. No. What I do is I defend myself and match their energy. These people have been bullying me for years. I mean, I consider the source, so it doesn't really hurt my feelings. They're cowards. They don't cam up. Show your fat faces. It's unbelievably hypocritical and hilarious to me that Boogie, who's bigger than me, I'm 349 pounds. I've weighed myself in Thailand. I've weighed myself at the doctors. I've weighed myself several times here, but they say it's a rigged scale. There's always some kind of bullshit with no proof.
Oh boy, here we go. Chantal, you see the picture on your left right there? I would say maybe that's 349 with the filters on, because that's your filters to the heavens. You see the picture on the right there? Honey, that's no 349. What I think is going on here, you're losing a lot of muscle mass, given you don't do anything. You're not 349, honey. That's the rule you when your filter felt on your right, okay? That is not 349. That's close to 500. That's a little bit over 500. What I think is going on with the scale, Chantal, is that you have maxed out on those scales. You honestly need to go to a bariatric scale and step on that scale, because those scales are rigged to handle all weight. That's what I need you to step on, and I'll believe your weight. Until then, I don't believe it one bit.
Okay, so if that's your entertainment, just a believing stupid shit for whatever, if that's what you're into, fine. But you must know some things about these people too. Okay, first of all, Yaba is a scab of YouTube. Her skeletons outweigh mine any day of the week. I'm trying to think of some things that they accused me of. I'd never smoked crack in my life. First of all of...
And yes, point for you, darling, right here. Point for you. She has never smoked that. Stop misrepresenting it. What happened was, when she first met El Sabi, she went over to his house. There was a pipe with stuff in it, and she came on live stream and said she tried mathematics. It was not the other thing. So get that correct, people.
These things that they're talking about were from more than 3 years ago, or about 3 years ago, okay? This guy, she's saying that they say I chased around. First of all, I went through, and it's all documented. Go look up Sam's Bar Lounge video. Actually, I'll play.
Okay, you guys, I cut that video out. Chantal, I'll put the real picture of you before the filter fell when you guys were out and about. I want to talk to the real you, not the filtered you, you know. Chantal, you're gross for putting that on. And then on top of that, you are disgusting for trying to insinuate that it's you in that situation. That was not you. So now you're using somebody's drama and trying to pass it on as your own. You are disgusting, Chantal. You are disgusting. I don't care what anybody say. I know you have people that support you. And I always say, if you're right, you're right. I'll give you your points for that when you're right. On this one, it is effed up for you to even play that. I'm trying to garner sympathy. I'm trying to get your new beezers to believe that happened to you. That did not happen to you. You are such a liar, Chantal. You are gross for this one. And let's not forget when that video came out. When that video came out, Chantal ran off to Cuba because El Stabby, after they had a little tryst, that throuple with Didi, would not leave Didi for her. So she ran off to Cuba. In that Cuba run, this woman had the balls to sit there and say that she was happy that he did that to Didi. He should have hit her harder. This woman said that. Okay? Chantal, you are gross.
The guy that they're saying that I chased around. They're saying that I made up forged documents at the police station. That's a fucking lie.
Chantal, you have admitted that you embellished on the charges. You only did it out of spite. Because that morning, Stabby threatened to go to the cops to press charges on you. And you thought to go to the cops and beat him to it. Okay? You even said when you came back after the whole debacle, everybody started turning on you. You admitted that you did it because you were jealous of Didi. Let's not forget that. I'm not going to keep on digging out videos and clips every time you say something stupid when it's provable. And I'm pretty sure there's other channels, clip channels, that are going to be pulling those receipts. You said that. You lied. Why are you lying so much? I am starting to think that you told Skateboy another narrative, and now you have to play it up. You have to play it up, and then you're also playing up this narrative for your beezers, or your new beezers. I don't know who they are, or your new beezers, because that's a flat out lie. Why lie about stuff that can be proved, Chantal? What is the purpose of that? I'm taking away the 1 point I gave you. I'm taking it away. So now you're back at -0. So I found a clip from Rose Dawn Reacts. I want to insert it here.
Proof of Chantal admitting she padded the charges she made against Natter.
I feel like I romanticize our situation.
Imagine that. Romanticizing being with an alleged abusive person.
He'd do everything. I have dreams about him every single night, and it's always frustrating, but I also... No, I didn't, John Doe. That's what I'm saying. People think I'm a liar or not.
But you exaggerated the claims. What is that if not a liar?
It's not that. I don't want to talk about it. That's what we meant to talk about, stuff like this. So.
And another thing, since we're here, the night that she had a three-way situation with Didi and Natter, she tried to insinuate that there was a sort of an essay situation as well. She told different versions of the story. The first version she told, she made it seem as if Natter forced her to do something, that he was pushing her towards Didi and he was going to force her to do something. And then when people were pressing on her in the chat saying, what do you mean? Elaborate. But did he force you? Did he force you to do something? She finally admitted that the only thing that she did not like was watching Nader and Dee Dee be intimate together. She didn't like seeing that.
That's a bullshit lie. I went to charge him because he was abusing me, just like you saw in that video. When this was happening.
Oh my God, Chantal, you are such a freaking liar. You are such a freaking liar. Most of us were around then during that time. Even though we didn't have channels, we watched everything go down. You are such a liar. Remember again, I'm not going to repeat this again, what you said when that video came out when you were in Cuba, Chantal. You are such a liar.
I talked about everything he did to me. He gave me STDs. He financially abused me. He emotionally abused me. He was cheating with hookers, which is how he gave me an STD, and I didn't know. He beat me. He burnt cigarettes out on me. And the fact that they're just up there, that's what they do. They're vile. So just...
I'm not going to keep on repeating myself about her lies. 1, you allowed him to financially abuse you, Chantal. You allowed him. He was only around you when you got paid. You knew this pattern. You just wanted him to claim you. You were a willing participant. I'm sorry to say this because this happens to a lot of people. There are actual victims out there. You were not it, my dear. You were not it. You thought you could make somebody love you by buying them. It does not work like that, honey. And you're doing the same thing right now with this fake scatman marriage bullshit that you're in right now. And I'm getting pissed.
Say that I'm the vile person when they're literally victim shaming somebody who's been in an abusive relationship. So what happened was I was in love with this person, okay? And then he became abusive. They're not abusive right away, you know? I fell in love with this person, unfortunately, and I've never had experience with being in an abusive relationship in my life before like that. You know, I've always been, before that I was in like 14 years of like with decent people. I mean, I've had some bad apples here and there, but nothing long term. So he's a narcissist abuser. So he's vile. He's actually in court right now for SA of an elderly person. So they believe the person he's with now, as you've seen, is abused. They believe that the elderly woman could be abused, but not me, because they hate me. So anything to fit their narrative.
Chantal, that's not the reason why. The reason is you're a lying liar that lies. You live stream your live 24/7 back in those days. We saw everything, honey. You think we got short-term memory issues. We don't. We remember a lot of that stuff. You are lying, and I hate El Stabby. But you're also, two things can be true at the same time. I hate El Stabby, and I also believe, yes, you are a lying liar that lies. Why do you think that's a rule number 1 when it comes to you, huh? There's a reason for that.
Right? Now, I went to the police station, and I never filed a false report. Prove it. You have not seen the report. When I want...
You guys... I inserted a clip snippet from Roston Reactions. She admitted that she embellished on that police report. What is she talking about? And if you want to see another great video, look Foodie Beauty, RSN, and MFW, where MFW calls her out on that panel when she tried to do the whole fake crying bullshit. And she finally came clean and said yes. Yes, she faked it. What is she talking about?
Wanted to retract the report. I said that I told the police that I was mentally ill and I wasn't remembering the facts correctly and I was exaggerating them, which was not true. Actually, the first time I filed the report, everything was true. Everything. I don't even know why I'm bothering defending myself. This is like the only video I'm going to make about this, and then you guys can keep having your clown show. I don't care. Whatever. I'm moving on with my life. I don't like talking about this person anymore.
Ma'am, come on now. Every single opportunity you get to talk about established Chantal, you take. Every single chance. Even when you're one of your abusers, bring him up. You don't have to acknowledge what they're saying in the chat. You can just bypass the comments. But no, you hop on that and you see that as your opportunity to keep on talking about El Stabby. Another lie that you don't even need to lie about, Chantal. You don't really need to lie about this.
And the whole 2 years that I was going through this, they were making my life hell with their reaction videos, with their victim shaming, just being disgusting. So, FFG wants to talk about doxing. There's actually screenshot proof, and somebody is going to send it to me, that in her Discord, she doxes people, and she's gotten her Twitter banned many times for doxing people.
And I said, everybody involved with this back and forth, Cabela, FFG, Yaba, they're all crappy. And Chantal, all crappy. None of their hands are clean. I mean, honestly, none of our hands are clean, but not to that level. I mean, my end, not to that level. None of their hands are clean. Yes, FFG has been doxing people on her Discord. That is very true. Okay, my Canadian bacon, I give you back a point.
The dox that she's talking about was years ago, and she was using a Google burner phone, which she even admitted to using a burner.
You see, now you're twisting the narrative again because it suits you. I remember watching that live stream. She was on live while you're sitting there cracked out, and El Stabby was sitting beside you a little bit off camera going off. And you doxed her number, and people in the chat were telling you, like, yo, you just doxed her number. And you were giggling. On her end, on the live stream, she said, no, it's okay. It's a burner phone. But you could tell that she was in distress. She only said that because she didn't want to give it away that people were blowing up her phone. But you could tell that she was in distress if you go back to look at that live. Like I said, everybody in this story is crappy. But I'm also not going to lie on somebody. Chantal is lying here. FFG only said that because her phone was blowing up while she was on live stream, while Chantal sat there and giggled, while SW was threatening to find her even if she lived in the birdhouse. That's how it went down. Okay? Now you got the story.
Phone number, it wasn't even her real phone number. And she got into a tiff with this guy that I was with, the abuser, and he basically was like, you know, if you love me, you know, go after her, blah 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 kind of thing. And I of course took his side. I was completely blinded, but she was very invasive. She was very invasive with her videos about the situation. She was just very disgusting. And so I showed messages and I held the phone up and it accidentally showed her number, and I felt bad about that. It was an accidental dox, and I even offered, it's on camera, to change her number and pay for it.
And honestly, to be honest, I don't blame her for I would not have taken that offer from you either, Chantal. I would not have taken that offer either from you, Chantal, because then you would have my new number. Hell no, that was a smart move on her end. I'll give her a point on that. I'll give FFG a point on that quick decision making.
They ignore that though. So anyway, these women are deplorable. They're worse. They're 100 times worse. They project. They're gaslighting. Their audience are just a bunch of zombies because they hate me. So yeah, because they lie to their audience about everything. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Chantal, what do you think you're doing to your audience right now? It's like pot, meat, cattle. What do you think you're doing with this video right now? You have not once said anything honest that I've heard so far. You are doing the exact same thing.
What do you even, at one point someone was talking about, Yaba was talking about McDonald's. Like, what the fuck? Where is, I want proof that I give all my money to him. Because what you don't know is that before I met him, he had his own place. Like, he was established here. If you look up the laws of Kuwait, okay? If you're smart people, you cannot live in Kuwait as an expat. He's a Syrian expat living in Kuwait unless you have a job. He was here, you need a work visa. All right? So he has his own business. He's in business partnership with a Kuwaiti and some other people. He has to have money to be here. There's no homeless people in Kuwait for that reason. None.
Okay. All right. So this is where your willful ignorance comes in, Chantal, and comes in really bad. There are homeless people in Kuwait. Yes, they deport people, like they hand out candy. But people have figured out a workaround like Poop Boy has figured out. They are people who are willing to help people be able to stay in Kuwait. That perfume business, we all understand, is a scam. It's a debacle. But he's filtering the money through there to make it seem like he's working. When you got there, the dude was living in a shoebox, smaller than a broom box, okay? There are homeless people in Kuwait. Chantal, I need you to, like, honestly start paying attention to the news instead of believing what that dude is telling you. Open your eyes. You come on and say these ignorant things. It's like, it's a head scratcher, and it's infuriating. It's infuriating. Oh, Christ.
All right. So he had his own place, bachelor, whatever. He had his own car. He still has his own place in his own car. Because yes, I have debts that I'm taking care of with my YouTube income, which, by the way, Social Blade is wrong. It's not $500 a month. Please, you think I would be on here for $500 a month? No.
Yes, you would be, honey bun. Yes, you would be. What are you gonna do for work, Chantal? Let's be real. Let's be real. You will still be here. Okay? Who are we kidding? Come on now. Come on. Don't make me take away that point from you. Stop lying.
I don't give him shit. Like, we're married, and anyway, it's not anyone's business. Keem, do you give your wife money? You know, I'm sure people say the same thing about you. And Boogie, too. Do you think Desi is with you because you're good looking? You both have money. You both have clout. So why are you shaming me for that?
Chantal, they don't have loophole marriages. Everybody understand their power dynamics in their relationships in that situation. They understand exactly what's going on. They're not out here lying. Ooh. Honey, you're in a loophole marriage, okay? This is a marriage that only lasted for, like, what, 6 days? And honestly, I don't even think he expected you to be staying in Kuwait. But since you have nowhere else to live, you keep on running back to Kuwait. And honestly, at this point, if I must be honest, I've said this before, the dude wants you gone. The dude wants you gone.
Anyway, it's all false shit. So the things that you're like, yeah, get her over, it's not a win that you think it is, because it's all BS. You know, I have done some pretty outlandish things years ago, like I said. And since reverting to Islam, I've been struggling with completely changing as a person. But you don't know how sociopathic these women are, especially.
And so, you guys, yeah, I cut it short. As I was editing this, my brain couldn't take it anymore, to be honest. Like, this video would have been like 2 hours if I went through every single thing, all of her lies. I'm not doing it. I refuse to do it. It's on our channel if you want to see it. Like I said, everybody's hands are not clean. This is a poor attempt at her end to try cleaning up in aisle 1, aisle 9, whatever. And honestly, this is not really for us. I feel like this is for skateboard. Something is playing out in the background. Something is playing out in the background. And I think Skateboard is losing interest faster than I expect him to be losing interest in the whole quick catch of this one. But yeah, that's all I got. And like I said again, if you want to see the whole video, go to our channel and watch the whole video there and make your decision. I cut out a lot of parts. I just found them inappropriate for her. So anyways, later you guys in the next one.